That's what I don't understand. Why all the toilet paper gone, but the non-perishable food item shelf fully stocked? I don't get it. Who's there?
It is I. Just been declared a global pandemic.
I know who the hell you are, and I should kick your ass. The government is using you as an excuse to take away more of our individual liberties. You sneaky son of a—
Silence!
You noisome human. I shall enjoy compromising your respiratory system.
Bruh.
I made it through 5 years of prison, 8 years under Obama, surviving every police interaction I've ever had. I have survived Southeast mosquitoes, lived through H1N1, Ebola, West Nile, Hurricane Trina, Harvey, Irma, and Sandy. I've been here through Area 51 raids, World War III. I refuse to be intimidated by a bioengineered batsuit 5G side effect ass virus that was made in China. Your ignorance is most impressive, but I am feared by the world over. What are you doing? I'm washing my hands. It's an effective way to kill germs and minimize the spread of disease. Continue. I shall give you runny nose, cough, fever, and in severe cases, difficulty breathing. What is that? Oh, this? I'm juicing celery. It helps boost the immune system and kill viruses like you. How dare you mock me and question my potency, though I've infected people from every continent and spread easily.
There have been estimates of hundreds of thousands of people in the U.S. who could die, or in the worst case scenario, millions.
Oh no! Why would you cut that off? Because that's your most effective weapon. They've been fear-mongering all month. Quick to tell you how many people got it, but don't tell you how many people recover from it.
No!
Like, get your ass out my house.
No! Ow!
Sisala Productions.
That was hard. Okay.
Has been undercounting those killed by the disease.
What?
The city now says an additional 3,700 people who died without being tested are presumed to be victims of the pandemic.
What?
Tonight.
But why would they do that? That doesn't make sense. What does that even mean?
Oh my God. How the hell I'm gonna get back to work? I don't know, Mr. Lopez, but we don't do loaner vehicles. Your car not drivable, and we charge $500 a day storage fee.
This song's dedicated to my homies in that gangster lane.
What you got your fist balled up for? You wouldn't dare hit a customer.
Why you had to go so soon?
Bruh. Finish him.
Now I'm gonna keep your memory alive like a homie should.
Oh man, excuse me. I'm sorry about that. I've been feeling bad ever since I came. Hey, will you get him a shot? You bastard!
A lifetime of memories going down the drain.
Oh, they fluffing the numbers. I gotta tell everybody about this. Hey, Jennifer! Ah!
I tip my 40 to your memory.
Bro, I didn't die from coronavirus.
Yes, you did.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
I promise you I did. I slipped on a banana pill.
You will die
broke
from.
a bone in my neck and died. I Epstein myself.
That does not fit our narrative.
What do you mean it doesn't?
We're
fit the
adding you
narrative?
to the death toll. Coronavirus.
No.
Dad, shut up. This is death by COVID, cuz.
I Epstein myself.
Shut up. Shut
I didn't
up.
die from COVID-19. I don't want
Yes.
Don't put me
Yes,
on death row.
Nip. Now lay your ass down. Lay down. Lay down. Shut up. Lay down.
What's on the message for me?
Sissel.
Welcome back to another broadcast. I'm your top anchor, Dickie Richard. We have a special guest here tonight, but first, our weather report with top meteorologist Pedro Dorset. Pedro, what's the forecast? Pedro.
Bruh.
Pedro!
Oh, well, it was raining a minute ago. Back to you, Dick.
Thank you, Pedro. And now for our special guest, the White House Coronavirus Response Coordinator, Dr. Deborah Birx. Doctor, glad to have you here.
Thank you for having me on.
So, Doctor, I'm curious as to why, even though you're in the high-risk age group, you personally don't wear gloves or mask, even though you do a lot of traveling. Do you mind explaining to my viewers out here tonight why that is?
Our main goal right now is to protect innocent lives, and it's remarkable our ability to provide that for the American people.
Well, I know you've recently stated that America was really liberal with the death toll numbers. And just recently, the Illinois Department of Public Health Director really explains what this means. I want to know from you why this level of misinformation is tolerated, but let's roll the footage first.
I just want to be clear in terms of the definition of people dying of COVID. So the case definition is very simplistic. It means at the time of death, it was a COVID positive diagnosis. So that means that if you were in hospice and had already been given, a few weeks to live, and then you also were found to have COVID, that would be counted as a COVID death. It means that even if you died of a clear alternate cause, but you had COVID at the same time, it's still listed as a COVID death. So everyone who's listed as a COVID death doesn't mean that that was the cause of the death, but they had COVID at the time of death. I hope that's helpful.
And that's what's great about having the ability to mark anything as a COVID death, because there's still a lot we don't understand about this virus. So you have to accept our triangulated data so that we can scare you into listening to our faulty models. Because at the end of the day, it's about saving lives, and that's what we strive to do here.
Well, Doctor, I have to be honest with you, that literally makes no sense. But unfortunately, we are out of time, and thanks for coming on the show. And to my loyal viewers out there, thanks for watching. Until next time, stay tuned.
Also important that everyone knows that we keep these measures in place to flatten the curve for no apparent reason until we have a vaccine in the foreseeable future. And all of this is going on, and that way I can continue to buy my scarves.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to this nightly broadcast. I'm your top anchor, Dickie Richard. Tonight's special guest is the second largest donor to the World Health Organization. He's none other than Bill Gates. So, Bill, do you think we as a society will fundamentally change once all of this is over?
Well, I do think that this is an excellent time for growth and the compulsory implementation for digital certificates to show who's been tested and also who has recovered. Also, it'll show who hasn't taken our vaccine. Once we get those out, we can see the areas that are most impacted. And thank goodness for the internet's capacity that we can all grow, learn together, and connect with one another. We're all interdependent.
So, Bill, you've previously made comments that cause concern. I'll give you an opportunity to address the conspiracy theories. But first, let's roll the clip.
First, we've got population. The world today has 6.8 billion people. That's headed up to about 9 billion. Now, if we do a really great job on new vaccines, healthcare, reproductive health services, we could lower that by perhaps 10 or 15%.
Says we could lower that by perhaps 10 or 15%.
Well, that's the thing. I find it ironic that people would attack someone spending billions of dollars on tools that our models show an upward spike in the population, for which our foundation is offering aggressive reproductive health to women in poverty-stricken areas to prevent whole generations from, let's say, being born, which in turn will reduce the emission levels in the world and create a more hospitable global habitat for humanity.
I will be honest, Bill, that answer did not make things any better for you. But what is your response to the president seeming to suggest that we inject disinfectants? That would be a plausible cure for this COVID.
And that's just the thing. It isn't safe to inject yourself with any disinfectant that I haven't personally funded on any level. Now, that being said, just like with my vaccines, there's questionable ingredients in those, but I pay top scientists large amounts of income to produce positive test results, and then I disperse those throughout the global community, and those are magically safe. And like I stated earlier, the model that we use to be productive within the organization and collaborate with other well-known organizations, and we continue this, and then using the eugenics I learned from my father, who had a hand in Planned Parenthood, then we can end world hunger.
Well, unfortunately, we are out of time. But Bill, you truly are the king of word salad. Thanks for stopping by. And to my loyal fans out there, I'll see you next week. Until then, stay tuned.
Claiming the Clintons and George Soros and Bill Gates and Anthony Fauci and all these people are in.
Why do people choose to believe in these crazy conspiracy theories?
Population control. Look at the banner. It says
thinking every country in the world is in on some grand hoax is just stupidity.
It's dangerous.
Our government would never be involved in something like that. Hey, yo, you good?
Got to stop trans. Got to control it.
Hold on 1 second, bro. I'm about to call you up. This is a blank board because everything I'm going to tell you is in my head. What's happening in today's world is a global cooperative effort between governments and corporations to implement sustainable development goals under the United Nations Agenda for the 21st Century, which over 193 countries have signed on to. Every tyrannical law being rolled out right now is to condition you into accepting your new realities under the globalist world order. And we have the global health cartel that's going to make billions of dollars from this scam. Meanwhile, the banking families that just loaned your government trillions of dollars from the Federal Reserve, which is a privately owned bank, stand to make trillions of dollars back in just interest alone. There is no virus, but the best way to get people to bend to your will is to make them feel like it's within their best interest to do so. We are being conditioned by the media and our so-called leaders to cast aside critical thinking and our own intelligence to accept whatever narrative they throw down the pipeline at us. Meanwhile, the people who profit off chaos and destruction are rubbing their hands.
So what do you suggest we do about it?
What we can do is unite as a people, reject the globalist agenda, butt these face mask mandates, open our places of business, and live like we got respect for ourselves. The Federal Reserve and United Nations need to be disbanded. And we need to claim our individual rights as sovereign citizens under a sovereign nation. No problems, only solutions, any questions.
And how does any of that help stop the spread of coronavirus?
Bruh.
Get your ass away! Where is your face covering?
Where is your face?
I am stopping a deadly virus from spreading. I can't breathe though.
Are we talking about the virus with the 0.4% mortality rate and has an over 99% recovery rate?
Bro, your facts do not matter when you can be asymptomatic and spread the virus to somebody more vulnerable like your grandmother.
What you're not going to do is emotionally manipulate me into compliance. Because as of April 2nd, the World Health Organization has admitted there are few cases that are truly asymptomatic. And to date, there have been no documented asymptomatic transmission. And according to a study published by the National Library of Medicine, they exposed an asymptomatic person to 455 uninfected and tracked the infection rate, and none of them contracted the virus.
Bro, stop lying.
I'm not lying. All the links to everything I've said will be in the description box of this video.
Damn it, just wear a mask so we can slow the spread. This is about safety.
You know what? I would get into the adverse side effects of wearing a mask, but a wise man once said to guard with jealous attention the public liberty and suspect anyone who comes near that precious jewel. That being said, the fact that you can wear a mask made out of literally any material lets me know this is not about safety. This is about social engineering, and I have a problem with that.
Over 450,000 people have died, and all you can talk about is liberty. You don't care people are dying. You're evil.
Okay, but if I'm evil, then so are you.
I'm doing my part to slow the spread. Look at me.
But you literally didn't do none of this back in 2018.
Now you're going to try to tell me the flu killed 80,000 people in 2018. That talking point is played out. This virus is way more deadly. It has killed more people than the flu.
I'm not talking about the flu. I'm talking about tuberculosis. Yeah. It killed 1.5 million people.
Are you shitting me? Tuberculosis did that?
Yeah, you did not wear a mask. We did not lock down the world. Out of the 1.5 million people that died, 250,000 children lost their lives. Hospitals were not overrun around the world. No one talked about flattening that curve. CNN did not keep a death count. Yeah, let's talk about it.
I'll holler at you later, bros.
Black lives matter. It's time we rise up and demand justice. We must do the work required to dismantle cisgendered privilege.
Those heterosexuals.
Those straight people. We must defund the police, and our white allies will lobby Congress to disarm every American, so we are no longer shot by the police. And once we remove every Confederate statue and piece of history we don't like, all white people must kill themselves.
I was not expecting that.
Yeah. Their whiteness makes them the cornerstone of systematic racism. So we ask all white allies to use your privilege and sacrifice yourself for the greater good.
No. I like white people. They got the best customer service.
Then we take over city blocks and declare them communist utopias.
What does that have to do with black people?
Everyone works for the government. Everyone pays a carbon tax. Absolutely no borders. No private property. Yes. Joseph Stalin. Yes. Lenin. Marxism.
Nothing to do with black people.